Okay, so you sent us a really interesting batch of articles about this new Tesla thing, the Cybercab. Looks like they're diving right into the Robotaxi game. I see it on Inside EVs. Always a good source, lots of excitement, but some like, should we believe them this time kind of vibes. So want to unpack this whole Robotaxi thing? Is this the future of getting around or just, another Elon Musk pipe dream?
Yeah, it's like everyone's saying the future is here, but also is it? We've got the classic Tesla playbook, big promises, shiny new tech, but can they actually deliver this time? Let's break it all down. The hype, the reality, and what this robotaxi gamble could really mean if it actually, happens.
Well, they definitely know how to make an entrance. I mean, they roll out this
Exactly.
Cybercab at their LA event, and let's just say it wasn't exactly low-key.
Subtlety and Tesla, not exactly a match made in heaven.
Exactly. Like, picture this Musk drives this futuristic-looking thing right onto the stage, butterfly doors, the whole shebang, very dramatic, very look at the future kind of thing. Visually, it definitely screams Robotaxi of tomorrow, but can it actually live up to the hype?
That is the million-dollar question, right? And this is where we got to separate the showmanship from the substance, the design.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's striking. Sleek lines, no side mirrors, no door handles even. Inside, it's like a minimalist spaceship, just two seats, a giant touchscreen, and what's missing? A steering wheel, like completely gone. It's clear they're going for this fully autonomous experience, but can they pull it off? That's a different story.
Especially since, Tesla's, shall we say, track record with self-driving stuff like autopilot and full self-driving, it's not exactly been perfect. For folks who aren't like Tesla experts, can you give us a quick rundown of what those even are?
Sure. So autopilot, it's basically like a really advanced cruise control, but it can also kind of steer itself on the highway. It's supposed to help you drive, but you still have to be ready to take over at any moment. Full self-driving. Despite the name, it's not really full self-driving. It's still in beta testing. And there have been, shall we say, a few hiccups along the way.
Yeah, hiccups is one way to put it. There have been accidents, controversies, the whole nine yards. And the thing is, they haven't really said how the Cybercab self-driving tech is going to be any different or better.
And that's a huge red flag. Like, they showed a video of this thing driving around the Warner Bros. Studio lot, and sure, that's cool and all, but let's be real, that's a controlled environment. It's a whole different ball game when you're talking about navigating real city streets with crazy drivers, pedestrians who aren't paying attention, the real world.
Right, like what about weather,
Yeah.
construction, people merging without looking? The real world throws a lot of curveballs at you.
Exactly. And that's where the whole self-driving thing, it's got to work all the time, not just in perfect
That
condition.
are perfect conditions, sure, but we're a long way from that.
And, it makes you wonder with this whole thing, are they getting a little ahead of themselves? They're talking about a sub $30,000 price tag, production starting in 2027. I mean, that's pretty ambitious, even for Tesla.
Ambitious might be an understatement. Let's not forget about the Cybertruck, right? Announced, what, like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Still not on the roads in any real numbers. And this robotaxi thing, that market is a whole other beast. Even if they get the tech right, you got regulations, public perception, the whole nine yards. It's a massive undertaking.
It's like they're focusing on all the bells and whistles before even figuring out if the car can drive itself. Like, yeah, inductive charging and robot cleaners sound cool, but not if the thing can't even handle a four-way stop. It's like building a house on a foundation of, like, popsicle sticks. Doesn't matter how fancy your appliances are if the whole thing is going to collapse. And right now, that's kind of what we're looking at. Tesla's self-driving tech. Still a work in progress.
And a pretty controversial one at that. And the thing that really gets me is this whole no steering wheel, no pedals thing.
Well,
What happens if the system crashes? How do you even take over?
exactly. And it's not just about, like, freaking out passengers. There are actual, laws. Like, in the U.S., you need side mirrors to be street legal. The Cybercab, no side mirrors.
So either they're going to have to convince the government to rewrite all the rules for self-driving cars, or they're going to have to redesign the whole thing.
Which, let's be real, adds time and money. So much for that 2027 launch date and that sub $30,000 price tag.
It's feeling a lot like the Tesla playbook, right? Overpromise, underdeliver. But okay, let's say, just for fun, that they do figure it all out. The tech works, the government's on board, everything. Could this robotaxi dream actually become a reality?
I mean, anything's possible, right? And the potential is huge. Think about it. Fewer cars on the road, less traffic, fewer accidents caused by, human error. It could be huge. But
There's always a but.
there's a massive but. And it all comes down to, can they really pull this off?
So what needs to happen? Like, what are the make or break factors here? So what does that even look like? Getting from, like, here to robotaxis everywhere.
Well, for starters, the tech has got to be bulletproof. And I don't mean like a little better, a little smoother. I'm talking about like next level self-driving.
Right.
It has to be safer than a human driver.
Yeah.
No question. In every situation. Rain, shine, gridlock, whatever. And that's a high bar.
It is, especially with the issues they're already having. But okay, let's say they, like, wave a magic wand and the tech is perfect. Then what?
Then you got to get people to actually get in the darn thing. That's the other piece of this whole puzzle. Will people trust it? Because right now, most people I talk to, they're like, a car with no steering wheel, no thanks.
Yeah, it's going to be hard sell for a lot of folks.
Totally. It's going to take time. People need to see these things working perfectly, not just in demos, but like in the real world for years before they're going to be cool with it. And that doesn't even touch the whole legal side of this.
Right, because there are rules about, well, everything when it comes to cars.
Uh-huh. And right now, those rules, they're all about human drivers. So you're talking about changing laws, regulations, figuring out insurance liability, the whole shebang. It's a mess, honestly.
So even if the tech works, there's a whole other mountain to climb just to, like, make it legal.
Exactly. It's not just about Tesla anymore. It's about governments and lawyers and honestly getting everyone on the same page, which, knowing how these things usually go.
Could take a while. Okay, so big picture time. Let's say somehow Tesla pulls this off. They figure out the tech, they win over the public, the laws get sorted out. What does that world even look like?
Well, think about it. Less traffic, for one. If anyone can get a robotaxi anytime, who needs to own a car?
So, like, imagine cities with way fewer parking lots. That'd be kind of wild.
Totally. More green space, more walkable areas, less pollution because these things are electric. It could be huge for the environment. And not just that, think about people who can't drive right now. Elderly folks, people with disabilities. This could give them a whole new level of freedom.
That's a really good point. Well, we also got to talk about the, the downsides. Like, what happens to all the people who drive for a living? Taxi drivers, truckers, delivery people.
That's the big one, right? It's the robot in the room, so to speak. And it's something we have to think about now, not later. Because, yeah, some jobs will probably disappear, but new ones will pop up. We just don't know what they are yet.
So it's almost like this isn't even really about cars at all, is it? It's about how we want the future to look.
Hit the nail on the head. Technology, society, how we get around, it's all got to work together. It's exciting, it's terrifying, and it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
No doubt. Well, we've given everyone a lot to think about, that's for sure. Tesla's pushing the boundaries as always. But this Cybercab thing, it's bigger than just one company. It's about the future of transportation and, honestly, the future in general. So here's something to chew on. Imagine it's 2030, robotaxis are everywhere. What does your life look like? Think about it. That's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for listening, everybody.